it's Miss Fulton with a whiteboard lesson like we're in the classroom, super fun. I'm going to be here teaching you about the prologue like we did today because I'm sure a lot of you read it today and were like, I have no idea what I'm reading. My mom's the cameraman, you can't see her, but she can be holding the camera. All right, so remember when we were talking about poetry, and the important thing was the difference between stanzas and lines. So if you remember, a stanza is like paragraphs, but for poetry, so there can be 4 to 5 lines, and a line is literally just a sentence in a poem. So here we have stanzas 1, 2, 3, and then this one is called a couplet. Now a couplet is 2 lines that rhyme together, and it's called turn because it closes it. I'm just saying. All right. So stanza 1, we've got 4 lines for each and then 2 for the couplet. So lines 1 to 4, we have 2 households both alike in dignity. So here we have 2 households, that's Capulet and Montague. They are the 2 richest families in town. They're feuding, they hate each other, they're like, no, I'm richer. Okay, so that's what that's talking about. And then it says, in fair Verona, where we lay our scene. It's just saying, this is where our scene takes place. It's Verona. I'm sure it's like Italy or France or something like that. From ancient grudge break a new mutiny. So a fight that has been going on for a really long time has finally bubbled to the surface and something really bad is going to happen. Where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. So people who are willing to help are getting hurt by the people who are bad. All right, so then we move to stanza 2. So this right here has told us our characterization and setting. Now we're moving to stanza 2, and it says, from forth the fatal loins of these 2 foes. This is talking about Romeo and Juliet. So Romeo and Juliet, Romeo is the son of the Montagues, and Juliet is the daughter of the Capulets. So from these fatal loins, the 2 families that are fighting, of these 2 foes. A pair of star-crossed lovers. So in the article I asked you what you thought star-crossed lovers meant. It's 2 people who love each other but can never be together. So if you've ever watched a TV show where they're like, I'm sorry, I love you, but maybe in another life, that's who they're talking about. And they say, take their life. It means they're going to kill themselves. Whose misadventure is piteous overthrows. Basically, no matter what they do, it's always going to end the same. Do with their death, bury their parents' strife. So hopefully in their death, their parents will finally get over themselves and stop fighting. But you know life can never be that way. So then we move to stanza 3. The fearful passage of their death-marked love. Just talking about the story of how they're going to die. And the continuance of their parents' rage. So even after they died, their parents are still angry, they're still fighting. Which but their children's end naught could remove. So even after they died, the families still hated each other. Is now the 2 hours traffic of our stage. This is now introducing, I asked you what this meant. It's now the 2 hours traffic of our stage. If you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend. So basically it's just a fancy way of saying, here we're going to present our story to you, and hopefully you will listen and learn something from this. This is the end of our story. If you will sit here in this theater and listen for 2 hours, 2 hours. Of our play, we're going to tell you a story about 2 families that hated each other so much, and it ended with their kids dying, right? And then here we have what I just explained to you. So in a sonnet, it's 14 lines. You see 1 to 14. Now we talked about the 10 syllables per line. So 2 households, both alike in dignity, right? Let's do this one. From forth the fatal loins of these 2 foes. 10 syllables per line. You want to look out for that. That's how you'll find a sonnet. But then each line rhymes. So Shakespeare was A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D, E, F, E, F, G, G. And I'm sure you're thinking, Miss Fulton, oh my God, what are you talking about? I don't understand. Okay, great. Let me fix this. Okay. So dignity, mutiny. Shakespeare thinks that rhymes. I don't understand. But, he's probably like, dignity, mutiny. There you go. It rhymes. Seen and unclean rhyme together. So we've got the first and the third line rhyming, and the second and the fourth line rhyming. Then you have foes and overthrows. And the reason that the letter changes in the next stanza is because it shows a transition to a new stanza. Otherwise, then it would be unclean, and bean would be the next word if it was B. But you're moving to a new stanza, so it's C. Life and strife, that's D, right? So hopefully you're following, hopefully you understand. If you don't, feel free to message me questions. I will be glad to explain it to you. Then we have love, remove. I guess if it's like, off, remove, I don't know. Rage and stage. Raging on that stage. And then it's different because at the very end we've got our GG. And this is what I talked to you about in the Who is Shakespeare video. But basically we have attend and mend in the last two sentences. Attend and mend. There's our G, G. And a couplet literally means two lines that rhyme together at the end of our sonnet. So that is my lesson on the prologue and what it's talking about and how it literally exposed every single character in the story. What happens in the story? Basically, Romeo and Juliet kill themselves. They belong to two families who hate each other, and the families still hate each other in the end, and none of it is worth it. It's super upsetting. But we've learned about sonnets. You've learned about how they rhyme. There's going to be a sonnet in the Act 1, Scene 5. I will make you go through that on your own. We'll learn about it later. Next week, we're going to be going over Act 1 all the way, well, Scene 1 to Scene 5, and we're going to have lots of fun. So, bye, guys!